loco, headed to his home though. No, he living solo. Vertebrae, got this broken to his place. It's chin in his face, yeah. From then I say it's evidence you entertain my loyalty to infiltrate. The only woman that I claim to risk your life to get some strange. All my anger is a pain. You didn't know that I'm a saint. I will blow your up.
Puget Sound just to our west. You get a look inside Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Seattle Seahawks. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Red! Buffalo 18!
Play action. Here's Hurts. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long, an early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
First carry here for Ken Walker. And he'll be stopped up at the 26 after a gain of only a couple.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Hurts sets up to throw it. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-0.
Makes the score Eagles 7, Seahawks 7.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. They'll try for the first with Walker, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on first. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And it's taken in at the 9. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10.
Ready!
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Back to throw. Rudd. He's going to look deep for Watkins. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's it's intercepted. Tariq Woolen picks it.
Well, this is something we've seen before, partner. We've seen a defense bait a rookie, pretend to leave a window open, and then the defensive back jumped it as soon as the ball was released. Big-time play. They love taking advantage of the youngsters, and in this case, it paid off well.
They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
For a team who came in here on a healthy winning streak, we're seeing some uncharacteristically bad play thus far. And that streak is definitely in jeopardy if this offense keeps giving the ball away and can't mount a few drives of their own.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Operating from the gun. Run. And this is caught by Watkins. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive. Come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to two people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion and a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Oh, he still brings it in off the tip here on the deep shot. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 26. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. On 1st down, Rudd. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got him. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
As the field starts to get condensed, the defense likes that a lot because now you don't have as much space to cover, but a well-run corner route there.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Desmond King picks it. And the Seahawks are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. Charles, one thing that he referenced to us yesterday was his confidence fitting the ball into any window, but obviously that window was a little too tight and it was closing in a hurry.
And he was talking to us about having anticipation in making those types of throws. Down near the goal line, I don't think you can anticipate it as much as you need to see it open. You've got to be precise with your throws down here in the red zone. That one goes into double coverage, and he gets picked off.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Hurts. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. It got his man complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run in the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise airlines and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And his top speed, as computed by Next Gen Stats, 21.6 miles per hour. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Looking to throw. Rudd. And this is caught. It's Brown. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Rudd. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. When there's extra defenders on the field, dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
Hurts throw into the hands of Fant. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And it's 3rd and 4 now.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
And Hurts is intercepted, his 3rd of the game. Jordan Brooks with it. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Operating from the gun. Rudd dumps it off to Mixon. And he'll be brought down line.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up 4th down. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
Here we go, check.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the 4th quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's 1 interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense.
Touchdown, Eagles! Devontae Smith. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Seahawks 7. Jake Elliott to kick off for them.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Seahawks take over at 1st and 10.
Let's go now.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Off the play fake. Here's Hurts. Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target.
Trap 60, 79 Broncos.
From the 36, Hurts. Going right back to Fant. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there's an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Defense was expecting run, and they're dealt a pass of over 15 yards. 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. They'll get this down to the 38.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 42 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They go play action with Hurts. Throw out wide to Walker. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short. On 2nd down, it's Walker. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
60 Eagles.
Here's Walker. And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 1. Now a timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Ready.
And Walker once more. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Ken Walker, as the first half is winding down. And the Seahawks are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Myers connects on the PAT. And it leads down to a field goal at 17-14. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. Looking to throw. Rudd. He's going to let this one go deep. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. So his struggles just continuing here in the first half throwing the football, Charles. Now 3 interceptions.
And they don't feel like they're just great plays by the defense. There's a sense that maybe he's a little careless with the football now. So some of the great coaches in the past, you know, they've always said, I can't teach you, obviously, because you're not listening. So maybe the bench can teach you. He's got to be careful now. He might get pulled.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here. That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game. And down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. That's a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and inches. Still want to be prepared for a pass. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. 4th down now after a loss of 2. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us a ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball. When that punch coming in, I'm going to return punch, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you. It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are, about whether you should fair catch it or not, but sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. This will be caught by Brown. They'll give him 4 yards there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. But there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best. And the Eagles are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant. Back to throw. Rudd. He will find Smith in the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Elliott good on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're down now 24-14. Work to do as they come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll get this to the 24, and it's 2nd down. Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Seven Pirates. 18 Rattlers.
Throwing is Hurts. And my goodness, another interception. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the gun to give to Mixon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Joe Mixon, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Elliott good with a PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start. And that's caught inside the 35. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. But sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And that might be just what they needed.
And now here is another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles will take over here at their own 12-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception.
He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. That one good for 37 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
A throw over the middle taken in. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 42-yard line.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rudd. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the seam.
Ready.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. To Mixon on the check down. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Back to throw again. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1?
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot. And on that play, they were able to stop them short of a first down.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so that you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And it'll be a touchback as Tyler Lockett says, I'm not going to return this one.
On the check.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. Room here to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
89 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
But 1st down, Hurts going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And my goodness, another interception. Darius Slay with a pick.
And the Eagles are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad run.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense can crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
The Eagles on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Rudd. And that is incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Returnable for Lockett. And he's out right at the 25. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
And this game went off and got back on track. And these fans, they were expecting to be on the other side of the scoreboard. But that is not the case as we play on here in this 4th quarter.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by James Bradbury.
And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we? No. Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique. His ability to see the quarterback throw the ball while understanding where the receiver is running his route allows him to make a lot of plays on the football, and he's taking it away at a really high rate.
Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they'll work this down inside the 30. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Touchdown! Grant Calcaterra. His first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Elliott good on the extra point, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27.
41, Seahawks 14. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And my goodness, another interception. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Facing this 4th quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock, they know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Back to Mixon on 1st down. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. 41 yards on the ground for him so far.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that +3.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Eagles, it's an important win for their postseason hopes as they at least get back to 4-5. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they'll fall to 5-3 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco.
got so many memories that I made on Cascade Road. I done gained the world, I ain't never